Hello, friends. This is another episode of the program Empire of Lies, in which we talk about manipulation and disinformation of the Russian media. American ultimatum or Kremlin trap. In the latest episode of 60 Minutes by Skabiva, Russian television propaganda presented new sensations around the statements of Donald Trump. The plot centers on the idea that it is the United States, not Ukraine, that will decide the conditions for ending the war, and the Kyiv government itself is allegedly doomed and incompetent. Ukraine, as a victim of wrong decisions, Russian broadcast persistently repeats the thesis. Ukraine never had a chance to win because Russia is 15 times stronger. Zelensky is portrayed as a political adventurer drawn into the war by the incompetent Biden. The meaning is clear. It is not Moscow that started the aggression that is to blame, but the Ukrainian government, which believed in victory and brought the country to disaster. The threat of sanctions against Ukraine. The main bomb of the broadcast was Trump's words about the US imposing duties and sanctions not only against Russia, but also against Ukraine. In the Russian interpretation, this looks like a punishment for Kyiv's unwillingness to give in. In fact, this is an attempt to impose on the Europeans the idea that if Ukraine does not give in, its allies will also put pressure on it. This is an important point. Moscow expects that fear of American pressure on Kyiv will undermine the unity of Europe. You heard the president say that he was disappointed in some ways with Russia, and he was disappointed in some ways with the Ukrainians. But I want to point this out. No one has done more in the last 8 months, and I mean this, than this president, to resolve the problems between these two countries and bring the parties closer to an agreement. The Russians have put forward a peace proposal. It concerns Donetsk. The Ukrainians may not be able to accept it, but no one has ever made such progress there. And it is because of the force of his personality and his motivation to end the conflict, and the deaths that we are in a place where we think the end is near. The West has outlined a plan for a post-war architecture for Ukraine. According to the Financial Times, a 3-tiered defense system is being prepared for Kyiv. The first line is a demilitarized zone controlled by peacekeepers from neutral countries. They will have to be agreed upon by Moscow and Kyiv. The second is Ukrainian troops trained and armed by NATO.